So I'm Liam Holiday, born and bred in the northeast of England, live in Washington all my life. I'm 36 years of age now, and I've recently moved into Newcastle upon Tyne. Yeah, so family structure for me has been what you would class as a normal northeast England sort of upbringing. My dad, he has always been a Catholic. My mum, she's always been Protestant. I think that was probably one of the reasons why religion's never been pushed heavily upon us, but I was christened. So my mum and dad obviously followed Christianity and different methods of Christianity. Religion was always there. You were taught it in school. You had Christmas, you had Easters. You had all of that. As I started to get a little bit older and started to work out why are we doing this, what was it for, my perception started to change quite a lot, because nobody was doing Christmas for the celebration of Jesus Christ's birthday. Nobody. All of my friends and family, perhaps with the exception of my grandparents, but we were certainly celebrating the gifts. We were celebrating the presents. We were celebrating the coolest new phone, the coolest new skateboard, however young I was, kind of thing. It certainly wasn't let's go to church and let's pray and let's celebrate the life of the God or the prophet or whoever Christianity was believing in at that point in time. So I think watching that get diluted over the years made me dilute my belief. Christianity's not for me. I'd probably become a non-believer at that point in time. It was like, well, everybody's doing it for the gimmick. Everyone's doing it for the merchandise, Easter. At the age of sort of 11, 12, 13, 14, I'm starting to think to myself, well, people are just doing it for a laugh. People are making money out of this. People are making Christmas cards. People are making Easter cards. People are selling Easter, Christmas related things. That's not about religion. That's about making a profit. And I think at that point, it was certainly sort of that kind of age. Religion to me wasn't what it was. So starting to grow up, getting to the age of sort of 14, 15, 16, I didn't really have a religion at all. I didn't care about looking into any other religions. And it was probably when I got a lot older, I was probably talking maybe mid-20s, when the media was so big and so pushy towards and negative towards Islam and Muslims. And everything that was bad in the world, it was a terrorist act because of a Muslim, terrorist attack because of somebody who followed Islam. And at that point in time, I didn't turn and follow the media and say, I don't like Muslim, I don't like somebody who follows a different religion. I questioned, why would somebody follow this kind of religion? And deep down, I couldn't believe that there's a religion out there that said, go out and do these bad crimes, go out and jump on a plane and crash it into a building. I couldn't believe that people would be taught to do that. And I thought, at the time, I think there was maybe 1.2 billion people who followed Islam at the time. And I was like, there's no way if all of these people wanted to go and bomb a building or do something, the world would be a disaster. There's too many people following a particular set of guidelines to destroy us. And it was that which really made me think, well, I'm going to find out what this is all about. Why is the media so against it? Why are so many people following it? And I think it was through that period of my time that it became quickly apparent that in the Quran it mentions nothing of what the media think or want you to think that it does. And that was a huge eye-opener for me. That made me dislike the media even more. You know what I mean? It's pure lies, it's pure storytelling, and it's pure what is going to get a headline, and which just isn't right in my eyes. And that drove me more and more. That made me want to learn more about this religion. Why on earth is there so many people so strongly believed, still go to mosque, still believe in it, even though if you're of a certain colour skin, going onto a plane, you're going to get searched even more. Why would you still say, I am Muslim? And I think it was that belief of all these other people that didn't allow the media and didn't allow this small minority, it has to be a small minority, because if it was any bigger, the world would be over. So the small minority of people who were taking the religion, twisting it, doing it wrong. And it was at that time that I really started my research and really understood what Islam was all about. To find my research and to learn about Islam, the age I am, internet was everywhere. People didn't really go out and ask questions. You just went to Google, and YouTube was my source of information. It was great. It told me some really good, interesting things. Of course, there's negative things out there, and I watched both. The negative ones, I wanted to find out why they were saying that, what part, and quite often they were taking a single sentence of the Quran, or they were taking a single action that somebody did, and they weren't looking at the bigger picture. So when you research into that element a little bit further, the Quran's all about being nice to one another, it's all about loving one another, it's all about treating each other equal, to the point where the media leads you to believe that women should be treated differently to men. Men are the superior, women are not to be thought about, not to be spoken to, they should be beat, they should be left to their own devices kind of thing, they shouldn't work. But reading and doing the research into the Quran mentions man and woman exactly the same amount of times. It says to treat women as equal, teach women equal, teach men the same. A man should teach a woman. If a woman knows something, they should teach a man. And for me, understanding and realising that the Quran was written in such a way, how on earth can the media twist that? It's because they don't look at it fully. What the media portray is culture. It's not the religion. So for me, that research really hit home that, look, this is an equal religion, this is a loving religion, this is a make yourself a better person religion. And the bit which really hit home about the man and woman was, how on earth could the media make you believe that a person wrote this and write exactly the same over hundreds of pages of documentation, write exactly the same. They didn't have spell check, they didn't have a computer. A human couldn't have wrote that in such a way that the media would expect you to believe that it was a fake sort of man-made book. So I think knowing that the Quran's telling us to be equal, I think that was the big moment for me which really hit home that this is more than just a speculative religion. My research in Islam started in 2015, and that was the point where I thought there was something more. Media was forcing me to look at a particular religion, and it took me a year of real research, and it wasn't just every now and then, it was every day. I was looking, new video, following different people, following different places, and following different things. It was all just online. So after a year of doing that research, I decided, you know what, I believe in this. I believe in the core values of the faith. I believe in the rights of doing this. I believe that there is something after life, but after reading and doing all this research, I now believe the reason I'm doing it is for Allah, and He is the creator of everything. And if I follow the rules and the guidelines and the steps which He's put out before us, then that is the reason why I'm doing this. So at that point, so 2016, I said the Shahada, learned it. It was actually an Australian guy on a YouTube channel. he was an imam, in my opinion. He could have been anybody, but from the YouTube channel, he was an imam. He said, this is how you do the shahada. I recited it following him doing that on the YouTube channel. And at that point in time, I'm Islam, I'm Muslim, I'm following the faith, that I'm doing everything, in my opinion. At that point in time, I began praying at that point in time. I began doing Ramadan at that point in time as well. But again, it was all just myself. I wasn't going with anybody, and I still continue to learn. I still continue to watch YouTube videos, and I was probably another year into that process, so 2017. And I come across a video that I hadn't seen before on YouTube, which there wasn't many at that point in time, because I genuinely was watching a lot online. And this one video was somebody similar to me. He hadn't reverted. He wasn't actually a Muslim, but he had seen negative media. He had seen negative information, and he decided, same as what I did, decided, well, why are so many people following this? Why are people going to mosques and so on? And he wanted to go into mosques to see where was the terrorist class, where was the badness, where was the evil stuff going on. He went into, I can't remember how many mosques, but 3-4 different mosques, and in each one, every time you went in, it was quiet. There was a couple of brothers in there, and every time they said Assalamu alaikum, every time. Shook his hand, welcomed him in, and he said, I've never been here before, I've got a secret camera on. They don't know who I am, but they're saying hello to me. Okay, I'll just wait, maybe I'll see where the classroom is in a second. And every time, people were just reading what they wanted to read, people were praying, people were learning, people were being nice to one another, and there was just modest, nice people in every single mosque. And like I say, he went to 4 different mosques, and it was exactly the same. And he done it just to prove the media were wrong. He wanted to go and do his own media research. And it was that video that made me pluck up the courage to reach out to a mosque. I didn't have enough courage to go into a mosque myself at that point in time, but again, reached out over Facebook of all things to Newcastle Central Mosque and said, look, I'm a revert, I'm from Newcastle. Lived here all my life, but a year ago I've decided I am following Islam, and I want to do more. What can I do? And I spoke to Imam Abdul Basit, and he invited me down to the mosque. We had a chat before we went into the mosque, and I said my shahada with him, because I said, look, I don't know if I've said it right. And he talked me through. I wanted to understand my core beliefs, wanted to understand why I was doing this, wanted to understand how I'd get into where I did. So I just explained all of that to him. We said the shahada. Next thing, he's rushing me down down the corridor, down towards the mosque, and I didn't really know what was going on. He's like, it's Maghrib time, we've got to get down. I'm actually doing Maghrib prayer. And I'm like, oh, right, okay. So I just followed, and the next thing, I'm at the front of the mosque, shoulder to shoulder with a whole load of other brothers who are all saying Assalamu alaikum, all welcoming me in, never seen me before. And there was maybe 30-40 people in the mosque that day, and there was people of all skin colour, which was a big eye-opener to me. Again, media have done a good presence on you. You think you're going to be brown-skinned to be Muslim. It's absolutely not the truth. Skin colour doesn't come into it. It's your belief. It is what we are. We've been created all equal. So the Imam at Newcastle taking me into Newcastle Mosque was great, and one of the first few people who spoke to me was a white Geordie guy from Newcastle. Come over, Assalamu alaikum brother, welcome, shook my hand, and it was great just hearing an accent that was the same as my accent, skin colour the same skin colour as mine, and every person in that room, in that mosque, was welcoming me, and I prayed for the first time with people, and that again was a big changer.